What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. If y'all are tuned in right now, this is the PGP sessions talking about music royalties. I'm actually going to be doing a live reading of one of the sections in the Pen Game Portfolio Volume 2 today. Jan Solo, J Buzz was good. Can y'all hear me right now? I'm talking into a mic, so I want to know if y'all can actually hear me. So please let me know in the comments. If not, I'm going to have to disconnect the mic, but I wanted it to be as clear as possible. So please say yes, no, raise a hand, do anything if y'all can actually hear me right now. If y'all can't, say I can't hear you, bro. Like, let me know what's good. All right, bet. All right. Appreciate y'all. So, yeah, I'm about to do a live reading from one of the sections in the Pen Game Portfolio Volume 2. You know, I've noticed that there may be like a barrier for some people with the price, even though it's only $15. I try to be respectful, you know, of everybody's financial situation. So I do want to go over some of the information that's in the book so that even if you can't get it, you can get the information. And if you want to go investigate further after this reading, then you can also go get the book off realjnolan.com. And I'm going to open up the floor for questions if y'all have any. But I'm going to go ahead and just get into it right now. So just stay tuned, man. I'm going to be looking in the other direction this way because I'm actually reading it off the screen. But I'm going to be checking in for comments too, and I'm going to keep a mental note of any questions y'all have. What's going on, Tracy? Jorge, Janae was good. JT was good. So glad y'all could join me today. So boom, music publishing explained. You can't talk about the business of music without a foundational understanding of how music publishing works. It is the business of promotion and monetization of musical compositions. Music publishers ensure that songwriters receive royalties for their compositions and also work to generate opportunities for those compositions to be performed and reproduced. Publishing is the oldest vertical in the music business. It predates the invention of actual recordings, and in the early 20th century, sheet music publishing pretty much ran the music business. Publishers were in charge of putting compositions to paper, producing songbooks, distributing to stores, and compensating authors for the commercial use of their work. So I'm going to give y'all some history, and I'm going to bring y'all up to date at the same time, all right? Since that time, things have evolved in phases from the early recording days, the birth of radio, vinyl, cassette tapes, CDs, digital piracy as we knew back when we had LimeWire, download to own services, and finally streaming, which is what we're doing now. All right. Publishers are responsible for representing composers, songwriters, and lyricists, the authors of the musical works, and making sure they get compensated. Right. But if you're an independent artist and you're not signed to a publisher and you don't have any type of agreement, then you are effectively your own publisher. But you have to, of course, register that with your PRO so that you can get the collections on that. We'll get there, though. So in music publishing, first things you got to understand are your copyrights, right? So I'm going to go over the copyright. 2 copyrights in music. You have the composition, which is a musical work, harmony, melody, etc., that may or may not include accompanying lyrics. Think of sheet music, words in a notebook. If you actually studied music theory or learned how to write music in school or anything like that, the notes are the composition, right? The sound recording is the master. Everybody talks about owning your masters. That means that you own the sound recording. It's a particular expression of the underlying composition produced and recorded by the artist. This is the actual song that you hear when you press play. In the most basic scenario, these 2 sets belong to the same person if you've both written and recorded an original song from scratch. That will be y'all in here today watching. As soon as the copyright is obtained, the author of the musical work gets an exclusive right to reproduce and distribute the musical work, perform, or display the musical work publicly. All right. And you can create derivative works based on that. So if you wanted to remix your own music or anything like that, you have all the creative license to do so. And you also have the license to grant other people the ability to do the same thing, right? The copyright owner also has the power to authorize or prevent third parties from using the composition in any of those ways. So I just talked about that, right? If anyone wants to exercise one of those rights, they'll have to obtain a license from the copyright owner and compensate them in royalties. Now, there's 3 main types of royalties. So the first one I'm going to go over is mechanical royalties. Mechanical royalties are due every time a copyrighted composition is reproduced or distributed in either physical or digital form. Of course, today we don't really use digital formats as often, but it's still there. If you have CDs or if you got USBs or whatever that you're selling and giving to people, that would be physical music. Digital, of course, is how we get MP3s and streaming. Historically, that meant mechanically producing a physical media like cassette, vinyl, CD, and so forth, hence the name. Today, the bulk of mechanical royalties are generated by digital streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, etc. Anytime a user chooses to play a specific song on demand, which forces a reproduction of the underlying composition, the streaming service pays out the mechanicals. That also means that non-interactive streaming, such as Pandora, they don't generate mechanical royalties. You get paid off of that in a different form, which I'm going to get into later. Now, mechanical royalties for streaming. The average per stream royalty for both the composition and recording on Spotify is around half a penny. Kind of less than that, actually. The sound recording average is about 0.0038 cents per stream, which leaves about 0.0012 cents to the composition, which is then split 50-50 between performance and mechanical royalties. So we're literally playing with dirt. You know what I'm saying? But I'll digress and keep moving. Using this figure, it would approximately take 1.6 million on-demand streams to earn $1,000 in streaming mechanical royalties. I'm going to repeat that one more time for y'all. Using this figure, it will require approximately 1.6 million on-demand streams, which is different from if you play in an artist radio and it just happens to play, to earn $1,000. So just to get a measly rack, you need at least 1.6 million on-demand streams. The mechanical streaming rate is about 0.06 cents per 100 streams, or 0.0006 cents per stream. Once again, we just playing in the dirt. All right, so then you have your physical and download mechanical royalties. Physical and permanent downloads fall under the traditional mechanical royalty payment structure, which came back in the past when we used to actually have music in stores, right? When the artist or record company records a songwriter or a music publisher's song and makes it available for sale as a download or part of a physical album, a mechanical royalty of 9.1 cents per song is due. All right. So to earn $1,000 in mechanical royalties, you would need, and this is traditional mechanicals, you would need about 11,000 downloads or physical albums sold. Of course, that's for like a song, not necessarily an album, which is going to cost a bit more. Now, who makes these mechanical royalties? I think that's a very important thing, right? So mechanical royalties are regulated via the U.S. Copyright Act by a panel of 3 judges called the Copyright Royalty Board. These judges are charged with the duty to set royalty rates and reevaluate them every 5 years. To establish a non-bias, the CRB hears from all interested parties during the proceedings, which include songwriters. So all songwriters are represented by the Nashville Songwriters Association International, also called the NSAI. So all of us, if you write music and you release it and you write songs for other people, what's good? Appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm just reading right now, so I can't really engage with the comments, but I'm definitely going to get to y'all, and I'm going to take questions in a bit. But all of us are represented by the Nashville Songwriters Association, okay? Now, music publishers are represented by the National Music Publishers Association and the Association of Independent Music Publishers, all right? So you can actually follow these organizations and learn all of the new happenings in the world of royalties, royalty rates. We're actually about to go into litigation for a new royalty rate. I've talked about it on my page before, where Spotify and all the streamers, they actually want to reduce the mechanical royalty rate. It's currently at 15%. They want to either keep it there or lower it to around 12 to 13%. But all of these organizations that I'm talking about would like to actually increase it to about 22%. We'll see if it happens though. So record labels are represented by the Recording Industry Association of America, the RIAA. Y'all might have heard about them when they kicked in DJ Drama's door a long time ago. They are very astute and they play by the rules. So if you violate any record labels, copyrights or anything like that, those are the people that's probably going to file a copyright issue, send you a DMCA notice or something like that. The RIAA don't be playing. Then you have the digital media and streaming companies that are represented by the Digital Media Association. So during these proceedings, the CRB will hear multiple arguments and counter arguments from each group. Eventually, the CRB will rule on the rates after everyone has a chance to present their case. So like I told y'all, we're around 15% as of now. We'll see how that goes in the future. Now, how are mechanical royalties actually paid? How do you get them? Now that you understand what they are, how do you get them in your bank? So to understand mechanical royalty payments, it's important to know about the Harry Fox Agency and Music Reports Incorporated. Harry Fox and Music Reports represent, or at least they used to represent, the lion's share of the U.S. mechanical royalty market on both buyer and seller sides. This is because the HFA represents the mechanical royalty for all of the major publishers like Sony ATV, Universal, Warner Chappell, who represent about 70% of the entire market, while Music Reports handles statutory licensing notices for buyers such as Apple, Pandora, Amazon, SiriusXM, Microsoft, etc. So these are two big players in the world of mechanical royalties. Harry Fox, everybody should know about Harry Fox. If you ever wanted to clear a sample and you didn't get it off TrackLib or something like that, you would have to hit up Harry Fox and basically let them know so that they can go to all of the copyright owners, the publishers, and the songwriters and composers to get that sample cleared and come up with some type of agreement, whether you're going to pay them, which is normally what happens, or you just give them a great percentage of what you're about to put out. Then, of course, you have, like I said, Music Reports, who represent Sony ATV, Warner Chappell. These are all huge publishing companies, and I actually have music that's represented by some of these publishers too. But we'll get to that later as well. What's good? What's good? What's good? I appreciate everybody tuning in once again. But as of January 1st, 2021, a new player got introduced to the mechanical licensing field called the MLC, which is short for the Mechanical Licensing Collective. The Mechanical Licensing Collective is a nonprofit organization designated by the U.S. Copyright Offices after the Music Modernization Act of 2018. So the government came in and said, nah, we need some more regulation for this. So they created their own board of people called the MLC, and they came into effect in 2021. So the MLC basically takes songwriters and publishers, and you have to register with them using their online claiming portal to receive royalty payments under the new blanket license. They've joined forces with Harry Fox in order to issue this blanket license. However, it only covers U.S. territory. So if you're getting plays outside of the U.S., the MLC actually will not pay you for that. The MLC, however, is completely free to sign up. So y'all should definitely go on the website, mlc.com, and sign up. Okay, cool. They now collect and pay mechanical interactive streaming royalties generated by eligible digital service providers, also known as Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Tidal, and others. And if you're already a user on Songtrust, then you don't need to register with the MLC because they automatically register your works with them. Now, for those of y'all that may not know, Songtrust is a publishing administration company. They also collect mechanical royalties. To sign up on Songtrust, it costs about $100 to sign up. If you want a $10 discount after you leave this live, you can actually go to my link in bio, use my promo code. It's gonna, just all you gotta do is click on it, and it'll take a 10% fee off of there for you. But don't do that till we done, all right? Bet. So, what does the MLC not collect? MLC does not collect public performance of any kind, which comes from live shows, radio, TV. They don't collect audio visual like YouTube, TikTok, or Amazon. The MLC does not collect on synchronization rights. They don't collect on lyrics or lyric stickers like IG, where you see the lyrics when you go in somebody's story and it actually shows you the lyrics. They don't collect on that. They don't collect on physical sales or any non-US generated usages, like I said before. Now, I'm going to skip this part because we ain't really got to go into that. So we're going to go into public performance royalties. All right. So this is the next set of publishing royalties under your composition copyright. Every time a composition is publicly performed, the rights owners get paid. And this is something I had to learn years ago. Like every time you hear music somewhere, somebody's getting paid off of that. Even if the original artist ain't getting paid, they label is, they publishers getting paid, and probably the songwriters if their credits weren't taken. But we're going to get to all that as well. Whether it's a radio broadcast, a background playlist at a restaurant, or a digital stream, public performance royalties are managed, collected, and distributed by your performance rights organizations. So your Ascaps, your BMIs, your Csacs, anybody in the UK, you would go through PRS. And there's a ton of others out there in the world. And public performance can be separated into two parts: royalties paid by streaming services and royalties paid by conventional public broadcasters. In the first case, the DSPs will pay out a share of their revenue to the PROs, split between all rights owners on the platform, in the same manner as streaming royalties on the sound recording are calculated. Then there's the public performance users, which are venues, clubs, restaurants, TV channels, radio stations, and so on. To get a right to publicly perform music, broadcasters acquire what is known as a blanket license from the PROs. This blanket license allows broadcasters to play any music that they want, with the overall cost depending on the potential audience of the platform. Users regularly report their playlists to the PROs through cue sheets, broadcast logs, and so forth. So if you hear music playing in a public space, 99% of the time, there's probably a blanket license behind it. And you can be included in the blanket license and not even know it. You know what I'm saying? Because these companies are just so massive. Now, live performance royalties. This is something I've talked about on my page before as well, but I'm going to run it down once again so y'all can get a deeper understanding. Every time you play one of your original songs at a music venue, bar, or restaurant, you can earn performance royalties that are an additional live music revenue stream to what you're already earning through your concert tickets, bar sales, or tips. But in order to collect these live performance royalties, you have to tell your performing rights organization about the shows that you're playing. And you got to tell them the list of songs that you play each night. So you'll go to Ascap on stage, BMI Live, or Csac in the United States, or the appropriate PRO for your country, and you tell them, hey, I went to X venue, I performed these 5-6 songs, I was up there for this amount of time, this amount of people was actually in the building, this is the amount of capacity that was there. And once you log that in, within about 3 to 6 months, you'll actually start seeing royalties come in on those performances on your royalty payout. So that's something for y'all to know. Shows are back, open mics are back, all of that stuff. If y'all are out there performing and the promoters are coming to y'all like, hey man, perform at my venue, perform at this, they're not telling you nothing about no money, they not inquiring what your fee is or nothing like that. This is a way to actually get paid off of doing free shows. Like I said, I've talked about this before in the past, but I think it's very important to note because I know a lot of y'all are out there performing, probably got shows tonight. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all probably on the way to a venue right now as you're watching this. So make sure when you're done with that show, before you go to bed, or at least when you get up tomorrow so you don't forget, log it in with your PRO. And make sure that the songs that you're performing at these places are already registered. So you don't have to backtrack and do that first because that makes no sense. All right? Let's see. All right. So now I'm going to run down some dates for y'all to understand because each different PRO has a different window of time that you have to actually put these performances in the system in order for you to actually get paid. All right. So we're in the first quarter of the year now. So from January to March 31st in the year, you have to put those dates in by June 30th. You have to log your performance and your actual songs that you performed by June 30th if you're performing anytime between January 1st to March 31st. All right. You start doing shows next month between April 1st and June 30th. You have to get that turned in by September 30th. All right. So you have about a 4 to 6 month window. I can't calculate it off the top of my head, but that's how much time you have to log those performances in. Once it goes past that date, it's out of here. You can't do nothing about it. if you have any shows from July 1st to September 30th, you have to have those logged in by December 31st. I hope y'all writing this down. And then if you have a performance between October 1st to December 31st, you got to have that logged in by March 31st. And this is for Ascap only, just Ascap. Now, the next group that I'm going to talk about is for BMI. All right. So their list is a little different. They start from April. So from April 1st to September 30th, you have till December 21st to get your performance logged in, and they'll pay you out in March. BMI actually tells you when you're going to get paid. If you perform between July 1st and December 31st, you have until March 31st of the following year to get it logged in, and you'll get your first payment in June. Now, for what the quarter that we're in now, if you perform between October 1st of one year to March 31st of the following year, you have until June 30th to get that performance logged in, and you'll get paid in September. So right now, if you have any shows going on, you need to get them logged in by June 30th if you're a BMI user, and you'll start seeing payments for that in September. Csac, if you're a Csac user, you kind of exclusive, man. It's a little bit of mystery around them. It's an invite only situation, and they don't really have a lot of information out there for the public. So you're just gonna have to hit up an affiliate or somebody out there, because they real tight-lipped. Now, the third type of publishing royalty comes in the form of synchronization licenses. This is my personal favorite. This is actually one of the ways that I'm surviving and making a living as a full-time artist today, is through synchronization. So this has been a very popular point of reference in my personal situation, because people have seen that I've been heavily involved in this area. In the first edition of the Pen Game Portfolio, I included a very basic description of how sync licensing works. And since that release, I've been getting a lot of questions. In order to fully expand on the subject, I've decided to create a more comprehensive section dedicated to sync and how it's played a large role in me becoming a self-sustained independent artist. All right. So first thing we want to go over is, what exactly is sync licensing? I talk about it all the time, but what is it, right? You can't really dive into something without having a decent understanding of it. So the term is really music synchronization license, which is a music license granted by the copyright holder of a composition. We talked about that in the beginning, allowing the licensee to synchronize the music with a visual component, typically television, film, advertisements, video games, promotional trailers. So trailers are different from the actual movie. Those are two different sets. You could literally have something in the trailer, you could have something in the movie, you could have vice versa, but they pay differently. So the licensee will also require a master usage license that grants them the rights to use the master, aka the sound recording. Anytime you hear the word master, make sure you associate that with sound recording. Just think of it as what you hear. All right. In the audiovisual work, be clear that you are not signing away the rights to your master, but just granting them access to use the recording so that there's no issues with copyright infringement down the line. This means that as an independent artist that wants to land sync placements, you need to either own your composition and sound recordings, or at the very least have administrative rights to exploit the copyrights of your work. So when you go in the studio and you're creating songs, you want to make sure that you and your producers and whoever's writing on the songs have an understanding of what you're trying to do with the music. A lot of times we end up just making songs and throwing them out. We go get joints off YouTube. Some people don't even pay for the joints off YouTube. We going on BeatStars and paying that $25 lease, that $15 lease. You're not going to be able to get that music synced. I'm just going to tell y'all that straight up. Unless you can hit the producer up, and I've tried that in the past. Hitting producers up that you don't personally know, even though you bought their beat, it does not guarantee a response. I'm going to tell y'all that straight up. Make sure y'all get either some understandings in writing, or at least a verbal conversation to be like, hey man, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what we need to get ironed out. What's the percentages? All that good stuff. All right. Don't shuck and jive around this stuff. A lot of times we don't like to talk about money. We don't like to talk about, what the splits are going to be. Some people get intimidated. You come to people with some sort of contract or agreement. Folks start doing the shiggy shake on you. You know what I'm saying? They start doing the kiki shuffle and all this stuff, man. Don't work with them people. Be strong. Put that song to a new beat. You feel what I'm saying? Because you ain't going to be able to make no money with them. But I'm going to keep it going. So here's a few things that you can expect when dealing with sync companies. You can expect the possibility, not guaranteed, of an upfront fee. Okay? You can expect notification of whether or not the sync license constitutes a buyout, which means that the company wants to purchase all rights to your track, which can be a very profitable thing, but you have to have a firm understanding of that's what they're trying to do. Or you're just allowing the company to assume publishing rights for the usage. This is something I've also experienced before, which means that you still get paid off of it, but they're going to take the publishing half of the payment. So you'll get your writer share, but they'll be acting as the publisher for that song. So once they have that and they take the publishing for it, you can't really do nothing else with it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like their property. But the beauty of doing that is they only own the song that you sign over to them. So you can still be a free agent and do everything that you want to do. It's just that particular record that you sign over to them, they're now the publisher. So you're not going to see that other half of it. All right. Side note. While artists have a lot of room to make money in sync licensing, producers have a much higher ceiling. This is something that I haven't really talked about, but if y'all follow Lamont Graves on IG, he talks about it pretty much every day. There's so many cues that only call for instrumentals, and there's also a lot of genre-specific cues out there. The more versatile you are as an artist or a producer, the more likely you are to land placements in high volume. Every time you hear a song or a beat on TV, radio, internet advertisements, or whatever, somebody's getting a bag off of that. And best case scenario, hopefully it's you. All right. So this is why it's important. You know what I mean? I don't care if you go to the local football, baseball game. If they playing music on the loudspeaker, the publisher, the songwriters, and hopefully the artist is getting paid off of that, depending on what the deal structure is. Now, why is the copyright so important? I've talked about copyright, but why is it so important as it pertains to sync licensing? In simplest terms, owning your copyrights will allow you to make executive decisions for your music. If you're signed to a record label or a third-party publishing company, in most cases, you will have to either void or compromise your ownership of the work. That doesn't mean that you have no rights, but in the event that you want to expand the reach of your music, you'll have to consult and be given permission to pursue ventures such as sync licensing. Sync companies need to move fluidly, so the less amount of obstacles or hands in the pot, the better, which is what they refer to as one stop. Excuse me. If you're able to grant master usage, sync rights, and have all your royalty splits already prearranged, then you have a much higher probability of being considered than someone else who's moving retroactively, which means going backwards, to get these things done. Understanding copyrights is also important because we're now in the age of buying and leasing beats online. I talked about that a few minutes ago. If you're finding beats on YouTube, BeatStars, Airbit, then you're responsible for reading those agreements. Make sure when you buy a beat, read the agreement, because it's going to tell you everything that you can actually do with that track. And you might be surprised on what you can and can't do. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I know me personally, a few years ago, I used to buy those beats and they would have like those limitations, like you can only get 20,000 streams. You can only make one music video. You can only get this played on 4 radio stations. You don't really think about the ramifications of that. You like, man, whatever. You know what I mean? You like, I don't know no radio DJs anyway. I ain't got 20,000 fans to get this played 20,000 times, but it's a very real metric that you might actually encounter in a very quick time. And the fact that you can tell me this, if you pushing a new single, what is 4 radio stations or 2 radio stations in some of the licenses I've seen? What is that actually going to do for you? Nothing. So you might as well either buy the best license that you can get or get exclusive rights or work with producers that you can actually be hands-on with and have expectations between each other of like, yo, I may not pay up front, but this is what I'm trying to do with it. Or I'll pay you X amount of dollars up front, but I'm able to do everything that I want to do. There has to be some type of even exchange. But with these different beat licensing companies, It's a lot of restrictions, and you got to know what you're doing if you actually want to make money off of your music. But I digress. I'm gonna keep moving forward. Boom. Not only that, when you buy these beats, a lot of times the producers will actually claim 100% of the publishing rights. This is something that I know a lot of artists probably never understand. But if you go, I know specifically there's some producers on BeatStars right now. When you download, it doesn't tell you till you download it. You open up that license and it says, I will keep 100% of the publishing. That is a terrible deal, okay? That is like the worst thing you could ever do, because if you want to actually start collecting royalties, which is what this live is all about, how you gonna do that? They own 100% of the publishing. You can't even put 5% on there for yourself. You out. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that you want to start looking for as you trying to like elevate yourself as a songwriter or as an artist, because the things that we don't think about on a day-to-day basis, we just shelling out $30, $50 here and there. That shit crazy. Yeah, Ransom. Man, 100%? You crazy, bro. We could do 50-50. It's just like a relationship. Anybody into something and it's like, I want you to do 100% or keep 100%. It's like, hold on, fam. Hold on. We could do that 50-50 though. You know what I'm saying? But it makes absolutely no sense. Why would they do that? Because they basically feel like you're coming to them. They don't need you. They don't technically need you. You know what I'm saying? Even though you're paying for it, it's like you're coming to me. So you got to abide by my terms. If you want this beat that you like so much, you just got to live with it. But for the most part, a lot of us don't actually read those licenses that come with the beat. We just download the beat, record to it, and throw it out there. So I'm going to keep moving forward. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too caught up on that one piece, but it's a very important piece. So if possible, try to reach out, send an email, try to get a phone number on these people and see if you can negotiate, like Ransom is saying, to at least do 50-50. Copyright also plays a big factor in sync licensing, because you need to know if your music contains any uncleared samples, medleys, or interpolations of existing work. If you know your song has a popular sample in the beat, your chances are slim to none with getting placed. Sample clearance can be very expensive, and these companies don't have a lot of time or patience to be worried about their cues being ruined by artists that didn't handle their business ahead of time. As a creative, sampling is a very enticing technique, and it's responsible for much of the soul within hip-hop's foundation, but it's also counterintuitive as it pertains to the business of music. This holds true even when it comes to sample kits that are being sold by companies like Splice, Output, and more. Some of these sounds are being used so frequently and similarly that people are creating almost identical beats to each other, which can also lead to copyright issues down the line. All of these things are important to know well before you step into the realm of trying to get your music into sync licensing. In my personal experience, I've been able to differentiate my passion projects from profit projects. All right. This is something that y'all really should take note of. Passion project, profit projects. If you just putting music out because you enjoy doing it and you just want people to hear it and you want to put it on YouTube, make a video for it, and you know, it's kind of a local thing or a hobby, there's nothing wrong with having passion projects. I still have passion projects that will be coming out this year. However, you got to separate those from your profit projects, which will allow you to start collecting your proper royalties, right? Now, on those passion projects, you can produce like CDs and things like that, or physical components of selling your music, and it won't be a problem. But to like formally get paid off of it in royalties, it's a problem. So being that I don't produce my own instrumentals yet, most of the work from my albums are not eligible for sync. I learned this the hard way. Some of that work contains soul samples from either the 70s or other areas, and some of it is just a mystery because no one knows what the producer used to even create the sounds. I've been fortunate enough to have working relationships with producers that are already working in the sync field, so we started creating music specifically for that particular purpose. Now, I'm going to just come in and give y'all a couple companies that I've worked with in sync, because I think that this is an important part. I normally don't talk about this in any of my videos because, you know, I don't want them reaching out to me like, hey, don't be putting this out there. You know what I'm saying? But since I got y'all on live, y'all can screen record this or write it down, whatever you want. These are a few companies I've worked with. We have EMI Production Music, which EMI is, I think they're now, I think they changed their name, but you can still look them up. EMI Production Music, they're based in the UK, but they handle placements all over the US and all over the world, really. I've worked with Ninja Tune Production Music. Look them up. They represent some really big artists like Thundercat, what's my man's name, Flying Lotus, and all of them people. Some smaller companies that I've worked with, Super Pitch, Mega Tracks. I've worked with my homie Casey Graham. He's local out here in Atlanta. If you've ever heard of the Music Money Makeover show, Casey Graham, he has his own library company called District 24 Music. I highly recommend working with them. There's a smaller company called Steel Sync, who I actually refer a lot of beginning sync artists to, because Steel Sync will actually give you this information, the same information that I'm giving you. If you sit down with him and talk to him, he'll give you the game. He'll answer your calls. He'll answer your emails. He's very prompt. You know what I'm saying? And he's based in Atlanta as well. So I don't know where everybody's located, but I know a majority of y'all are probably in Atlanta. And SATV. SATV is also in the UK. They're actually a subsidiary of a company called Sky TV. Sky TV is a subsidiary of Comcast. So I have like 5-6 songs with them, and those get picked up all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that they have a pipeline from Comcast down to Sky TV, which is basically the European equivalent of a Comcast, and then they own their own publishing company called SATV. So they're constantly going in that pot and just picking stuff out. These are things that y'all would want to know, man. But on the flip side, a lot of these companies also take the publishing half. When you, what was the Thundercat one? The one with Thundercat is Ninja Tune. The whole Brain Feeder label is under Ninja Tune. So yeah, man, they'll take the publishing half. You're still gonna get paid on your writers, but they get a lot more placements than the average like small company that's not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a give and take, which is, for me, I work on songs specifically for each company. You know what I'm saying? So that I could still have my own catalog of music that I can pitch freely, but then I have specific records that I work on. Like my guy Chris DeCiccio, y'all should look him up. He's a producer. He's constantly working on briefs, and he's getting stuff directly from the companies saying, hey, we need a song for this Doritos commercial. It needs to sound like this. So if they tell him, hey man, we need a song that sounds like Grinding from the Clips, first thing Chris gonna do is reach out to me, because he know I'm a spitter. You know what I'm saying? So then we gonna work on that. They're gonna pay us probably anywhere between like $200-$300 just for like the studio composition. You know what I mean? Of like him making the beat, me recording it, because they don't know if I gotta go to the studio to actually do it or if I'm doing it from home. But they're gonna give us like a little something, little couple dollars, $250, $500 to split, whatever it may be. Then we turn it in. They start sending out paperwork. They telling us what the agreements are. Like I said, a lot of the times they're gonna take the publishing half, but you're gonna get a lot more placements in exchange for it. So it kind of makes up for it. There's smaller companies that'll let you keep your publishing too. So these are all things that you want to know. You want to know about exclusive, non-exclusive, because exclusive is the companies that's gonna want the music, but you can't take it nowhere else. Excuse me. In a non-exclusive situation, which I have for some of my music, you could have it represented by as many companies as you want. You could literally have the same 5 songs in the catalog of 30 different companies, depending on your grind and hustle and your ability to reach out and send emails. So these are things that you guys got to start, just investigating. I ain't saying try to hop into it tomorrow, but just like really start getting your wheels turning. Like, man, what do I really want to do with this music, man? Because I'm going to tell y'all, I made way more off getting music placed in TV and film than I ever did off putting my music on Spotify. Like, I think I got almost 40,000 streams last year on Spotify, and I made $60. That's absolutely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? In no world should you have 40,000 people listening to your music and you make $60. That's insane. You know what I mean? And this is why I don't talk about Spotify or streaming platforms on my page. If you go through anything that I'm talking about on my page, it's always about sync licensing, publishing, and something of that nature. You know what I mean? Because those are the ways that you actually get paid. And I talk about music services, but I'm going to have another live another day for that, because that's another way. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, I've said everything that I needed to say as far as collecting your royalties. I hope that was helpful for y'all. If you need a refresher, you can go to realjnolan.com and get the book for yourself, the Pen Game Portfolio Volume 2. But now I'm about to put my headphones on. I'm testing this out for the first time. If anybody has questions and you want to join the live, you could come on right now. You can send a request and I'll put you on. I'm probably going to, take calls for like 30 minutes if y'all down. If y'all want to talk about anything, y'all want to ask some questions, whatever. Is this video recorded? It's not recorded. I may put it up on my page afterwards, you know what I'm saying? But, if there's anything that you specifically want, I would say screen record it while we on. But I'm opening up the floor. If y'all want to request to join, you can, and we could chop it up. But I'm going to give y'all about a 45-second window, because I ain't going to be waiting all night for no request to come in. Thank you, DJ. The book is fresh. I appreciate that. Let me scroll back through these comments too, because I was reading a lot. Once again, I appreciate everybody that joined today, man. Just wanted to take some time to talk to y'all, man. Like, this stuff is really important, and it's near and dear to my heart. My whole goal with putting out the Pen Game Portfolio series and just being a resource is because I feel like there is a separate economy for independent artists. Our economy is different from the major labels, right? But most of us want to be on major labels, right? But let's think about this. Just in the last 4 to 5 months, how many artists have come out and complained about their recording contracts? How many artists came out? I think it was Meek Mill, Keisha Cole, YG, all these people said they signed these deals worth millions of dollars and they never got paid no royalties off them releases. They only get paid off shows. You know what I'm saying? This is why it's important to me, because there's in no world should we be worth $400 million and have 30. Now, to the average person, 30 million is like amazing. But if your catalog is worth 400 million, that ain't shit to have 30. You know what I'm saying? We're playing on a much smaller playing field, but a lot of us are still going to work, clocking in every day, doing music on the side. You know what I'm saying? Music is a passion project for a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? And we want to get to the next level. So this is where your information and knowledge comes in, because there's no shortage of talent at all. Like, you know what I mean? I know a million talented artists. So yeah, like Je ne sais quoi says, it's so important to do your research, because even doing this stuff, like getting into sync licensing and all that, if you don't really know what's going on, you'll start asking questions and you'll be the odd man out. I remember a couple years ago, I know I used to get on one of my homies' nerves. His name is Ty. He used to talk about these agreements, and he would say that money was coming, like they were going to pay us that $250, $500 fee. And a lot of times the money never came on time. And he'd be like, yeah, expect it by this date. And then that day would come, and I'd be hitting his email like, bro, where the fuck is my money? And he'd be like, bro, chill. Like, it's coming. But I didn't understand how it works. I didn't know how net 30, net 60, net 90 actually worked, and that the money had to be approved and sent. It wasn't coming from him directly. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things you just gotta just dive in and do your research, like Je ne sais quoi said. Yeah, Hurricane, come on, man. Come join me, man. Please come on, man. They shy today. I don't know why they being shy. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even got to be about copyrights and stuff like that, man. We could just talk music. We could talk whatever. I just wanted to get that part out the way. You know what I'm saying? And give y'all a little free sample of what's in the book. Because I know sometimes you'll come across people that are promoting things, and you'll be like, man, who the fuck this nigga is, man? Talking about he know what to do. Like, niggas be capping. It's a lot of cap. A lot of people running ads that's capping. A lot of people saying they gonna get you hella streams, and all of this stuff, and you go pay them $400-500 for their little course, and you don't get nothing out of it. I've been researching, you know what I'm saying, and I've been watching, and this is primarily why I created the Pen Game Portfolio to begin with, because I've seen so many people out here just blatantly lying to independent artists, promising people dreams. Make sure you talk split sheets when you're in the studio too. That's an absolutely great suggestion, split sheets. So if you in the studio like my boy Ransom, you know what I mean, I'm sure he already knows this, but for y'all listening, if you're in the studio and you got 4 people contributing to the record, you got a producer, they may have a co-producer or a nigga that done sent them some drums or a sample kit, and you got somebody that say, hey bruh, you should say this right here, right there. Make sure y'all are ironing out who gets a percentage of what, and put it on paper, and make sure everybody puts their signature on it before you leave that session. You don't get them signatures, you're gonna be looking sad. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be looking sad, bro, because even in the major label system, with split sheets already made, a lot of the royalties are being collected retroactively from artists, producers, and songwriters. A lot of producers especially have to hire their own lawyers to go audit the label and go send massive amounts of emails just to make sure that their money is going to get sent to them. You know what I'm saying? It's a rough game. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's not for the uneducated. I'm gonna go ahead and just say that, put an exclamation point. It's not for the uneducated, and I'm not saying not for smart people, because you can be smart, but you can still be uneducated about the field that you're in. You feel me? So this is why it's so important. Don't be taken under the guise of what niggas be talking about. Again, it's a lot of ads. It's a lot of new music tech companies that are coming out that are talking about how you can distribute your music and get your music to thousands of new people. They're not going to help you get your music to thousands of people. They're going to get your music on Spotify, Apple Music, just like anybody else. And that's going to be the end of it. So you got to be a bit more vigilant about your career. You can't just go with the flow. People talk about going with the flow. That is the absolute worst thing you can possibly do, is just go with the flow. Ask questions. You ain't got to be a pest, but ask questions. Find out what is the plan? What is the goal? We made a fire-ass song. Now what do we want to do with it? What's the promotion strategy? You know what I'm saying? I talk about it in the book also, but I'm not going to go in that section today. It's what is your release strategy? You know what I'm saying? How many pieces of content are you going to create around that song that's going to get people to check it out? Do you have a music video? Do you have a lyric video? Do you have a performance video? You could do hella performance videos. You could perform at the crib. You could get your homie to record you performing at the next show you're going to do. You could do a live and unplugged version of it. Look at all these platforms that are coming out nowadays, where people are just performing with these nice black, purple, green backgrounds with a mic. Like, they not popping up out of nowhere for no reason. It's about having content that's going to put you in front of people. You know what I'm saying? You got to use the algorithm to your advantage. If you're not feeding the algorithm something that's pleasant to the eye, your content is going to get shoveled to the bottom. And you're going to be wondering why you got 5 likes, 25 views. You know what I'm saying? Pre-save campaign, that's very valid too. Having a pre-save campaign for your Spotify releases, you know what I'm saying? Because you want people to get notified when it actually goes live. Make sure people are following, if you're going to be pushing, you know, Spotify and stuff like that, because I can't stop y'all from doing that. But if you're going to do it, tell your people to follow your account page, your artist page, you know what I'm saying? Because the more followers you have, and if you send it to the editorial at least about 2 weeks in advance, people will actually get a release radar. Y'all know what the release radar is. It'll tell you, like, when Drake drops a song, or when your favorite artist drops a song, it'll come up on your release radar. Well, you want the people to actually see your music in that same playlist, that release radar playlist. So make sure people are liking and following your artist page. So much gatekeeping out here. I know, man, people be weird. People really try to, you know, people really be weird, man. It's almost like the backstage at a show. You got to go through 5 niggas to get to the real person. and there ain't no limit on what they gonna have you do if you try to go through it. It's the same shit. Like, people try to use information as a form of like power. Like, I'm the one with it. I'ma hoard it until you pay me $1 million. And it, you know what I mean? The niggas be talking about $1 million worth of game, and they game really be worth about 15, because they really don't be knowing what they talking about either. There's promoters out here putting on shows that really don't know what they're doing, but they have nice graphics. You know what I mean? We just gonna call it all out. Got very nice graphics, don't know what the hell they doing. They don't start on time. They lose your name in the lineup. You gotta go ask them, hey man, you still got me on the show tonight? Bullshit, bro. And they'll fuck around and make you pay $50 to perform at a show like that. Garbage. I'm still waiting on y'all to join me, man. Somebody got to come through and join me. Let's talk. I got time today. You know what I'm saying? The other day I ain't had time. Today I got time. London Moore, what's good? Appreciate you joining. CHHJ, what's going on, homie? Thank you for joining. It's all good. I understand you at work. It's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna start trying to do this more often too. Just coming on here and chopping it up. I really want somebody to join, because I got my headphones hooked into my mic, and I want to see if it's actually gonna work. I didn't test this out, so I want to see if the voice actually comes through in my headphones. You know, I'm trying to be more tech savvy with my whole operation over here. I got tired of just having the raw audio. I know somebody got to have a question, comment, concern, something. You know what I mean? Is there something in there I read too fast? Like, why y'all got me? This is your opportunity. I don't do this every day. I know Hurricane said he was gonna get on. I seen Chief say he was gonna get on. I'm waiting on y'all, man. Renaissance Rick. All right, we got our first person. Much love. Could have swore I just. Where you go, Renaissance Rick? Oh, what's good? What's good?
What's good? I was just heading out the door, and I heard you want to test the headphones. So I was like, on a technical aspect, I got to do you a favor. You dropping all this knowledge for us.
I appreciate it. So I just found out that the headphones is not doing it. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. I appreciate it, though, man. How you doing, fam?
I'm doing well. I follow a lot of your content, man. Like, just currently doing the music stuff. You know, got my setup over here. Just
hey, let's
right?
go.
But, you know, just follow you. I just, like, kind of follow you and just watch, like, because there's so many secrets to, like, things that I didn't even know that I thought I knew. And then, like, you'll break it down. I'm like, oh, I ain't know shit. Okay, cool.
Word. Hey, man, I ain't done shit neither, man. That's the funny part. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people kind of look at me as, like, I've done a lot. And I have achieved some things. I'm not going to downplay it. But in the space that I'm in right now, I'm new. I'm so new, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got nominated for my first award in sync licensing last year. And I didn't even know they had award shows for that type of stuff. You feel me? So, and now once I got nominated, I'm like, it's people that have been nominated 5, 10 times. You feel me? So it's like, oh, okay. Let me simmer down. You know what I mean? Let me learn. Let me sit back and really assess the situation, because I had no idea. So I'm still learning every day. I'm still navigating it myself, man. But that's why I like to give it as I get it, man, because I feel like I said before, I feel like there's a totally different economy for independent music creators, and we haven't even tapped into it yet. And I just want to be a part of it.
Right. And then it was just like the other thing too, like that really struck a chord with me too. Like, you just kind of hit the whole passion versus profit. It was like, I got projects that are passion projects, and I'm just like, man, but I want to get it out there, but obviously I don't want to just like handicap myself by making things perfect. But at the same time too, it's like, I want to do this for the love, not necessarily, oh, I got to put this out because I want to make a buck off of it.
Yeah, I get it. And it's kind of like, it's a balancing act. It's always a balancing act, man. Like, but what I am trying to learn, excuse me, is how to merge both. Like, do stuff that I absolutely love, but still working within like the construct so that it could still be on that profit side as well. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, so if I
That's
decide to turn it in at the end of the day, it's like, oh yeah, no, this is great for the market, but you know, like, yeah, just still attaching that like love to it.
exactly. Because sometimes it'll be just like doing some generic stuff and putting your little twist on it, and it pays, but it ain't your favorite record. You know what I mean? But that's where the intentionality comes in, and like just understanding how everything works so that you can elevate the sound of like, okay, this is what y'all are used to, but I'm gonna put my own sauce on it, you know what I mean? And make it unique to me, but still, like I said, operating within the space.
And you had mentioned something just now too, like that I think, I mean, I don't want to ever shit on nobody, but
Yeah,
it was more like that whole attachment thing. I feel like a lot of people sometimes they this is their babies. This is their I have to keep this for me, and it's like
yeah,
no, you can still put your passion into it and give it your all, and you can let it go. You know, people just want to lock everything away, and it's like
yeah,
the world can't see this. They'll never understand. But it's like, then how will you know it's supposed to be out there? Like, just put it out there.
absolutely.
Right.
Funny part is, those are normally the most successful ones. Like
Exactly.
when you take chances and you do stuff that you don't think people are gonna understand, it's gonna hit people like, oh, I never knew I needed that. You know what I
What is
mean?
it? What
Like,
it was Quincy Jones that said, I think when they were working on Thriller, it was like if you don't have goosebumps, then you're not making this for anybody. Like, so if you don't feel good about it, then don't do it.
facts. I
Right.
mean, this is a terrible example, but it's still a great example at the same time. Eminem, he says all his singles are the songs off the album that he hates. You know what I'm saying? So we could have our own opinion of like Eminem and his music at this point today.
Right.
But when you go back in history and you look at every album that he put out from day one, from Hi My Name Is on up, those were the songs that he hated, and they're the biggest ones.
It's that's crazy, man. But like I said, I was just heading out the door. I could chop it up with you for
I already
right.
know, man. Do your thing, bro.
Appreciate you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
all that you do, man. And I will definitely tap back in with you on another live or just, in the comments or even a DM, man. I
Oh,
appreciate you
yeah,
so
for
much.
sure. I'll be looking forward to it.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Enjoy your night.
All right. Appreciate you. You too.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Let me go back up through the comments. I seen a couple. So she says, how do I get out of my toxic relationship with producers? Please expound on that. Like, what you mean your toxic relationship with producers? Like, what are they doing? What's their deal? Let me know. Let me know what the conflict is. I may have an answer for it. CHHJ says, does a producer register works with BMI as the composer or author or both? Typically, a rule of thumb is as a composer, you're the one that actually makes the quote unquote music. You know what I mean? So you would generally be the composer. The author is generally the person that writes the lyrics. However, it really don't matter. You know what I mean? Long as you log it in, you good. So you could be the composer, you could be the author, you could be both. There is a composer author option as well. But I've never seen a situation where either title was a problem. Not a Cowboy fan was good. Daryl was good. How you doing? Ace Boogie 21 was good. Gary Cole's official account was good. Everybody that joined, I appreciate y'all joining. Y'all missed some a little bit of game earlier. I actually did a live reading from my book, The Pink A Portfolio, Volume 2. I'm gonna put this up later just so y'all can run it back if you want to. Right now, I'm trying to see if anybody wants to join, ask some questions, or just chop it up on live, talk music, talk business, anything. So just let me know, and I will add you to the live. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do this stuff more often and connect with y'all just on a more personable level. But bro, what you know about the Toronto scene? Honestly, I don't know nothing about the Toronto scene. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. All I know about Toronto is Drake, Tory Lanez, who else? Belly. And that's pretty much it. I don't really have no business out in Toronto at this current moment. So I couldn't tell you. If you're in Toronto, you should be able to tell me what you know about the Toronto scene, man. I'm trying to tap in. You know what I'm saying? We're going up for the year and a half. Makita was good. NYK, Nick Alexander was good. Appreciate y'all joining. Okay, we got a request. L's Money, my guy. I'm going to circle back, Jew, and I want you to tell me. What's good, man?
My boy, how you,
What's
man?
happening with it?
Ain't nothing, man. I just wanted to hop up here and give you your flowers because I be tapping in. You know what I'm saying? And you right as far as, we need to explore all the avenues we can as indie artists because, I felt you when you said 60. I just did 60K and that shit equals $60. And I was blown. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, man, that's garbage, bro. Can't even pay a water bill out that, man.
Nah, that's crazy, bro. But I just wanted to tell you that the sync licensing thing is dope, man.
Appreciate it.
I'm actually trying to shoot my shot in that shit as we speak too.
Bro, you'll kill it. You'll kill it, bro, because you're versatile. You'll make a killing in that shit.
Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna have to come down there and chop it up with you face to face too.
For sure.
But yeah, sync licensing. I think I made most of my bread this past year off of selling merch. When I dropped my album, I dropped the merch with it and made a couple bands off of it.
Yeah.
But we just gotta tap into them avenues because it ain't
Exactly.
the same as being a mainstream artist.
Yeah, but, man, your merch game is serious, bro. Like you
appreciate
doing
you, bro.
Really well with that shit. I love seeing it.
Appreciate it, man. I love seeing what you doing, bro. I be motivated, bro. Know what I'm saying? So keep going. Know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You already know.
Yep. Shit. That's all I wanted to say, man.
All right, but I appreciate it, man. And keep going up, man. I see you.
Yep. You too, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, let me go back. CHHJ says, do I feel like sync licensing is becoming oversaturated? I'm going to tell you right now, there's no such thing as oversaturation in the sync market. The only conflict that you might encounter, and I'm just saying might with like quotations, is too many artists that might be similar to you with a specific company. But outside of that, no. All right, we got another question or another request. We're gonna see. Let's keep them coming in. My homie Pluto just jumped in here.
Hey.
Peace. How you doing?
How you doing, food?
I'm good, man. You in the dark?
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm just from Paris, France, bro.
Oh, so, okay.
It's like midnight here.
Got you.
That's why. Thank you for accepting my request, though.
For sure, man. Like, yeah. What you want to talk? What you want to talk about, man? Please, speak up a little bit too. You're kind of low.
Yeah, better now.
We about to find out. Just let me know what you want to chop it up about, brother.
Yeah, just wanted to thank you about all the gems you're dropping on the Instagram, and like I've been like also like working, struggling on this sync licensing for a year and a half now. No like success yet, but I'm still working on it, I got a few briefs. Sometimes I just responded to it. Sometimes I'm not just win the brief or something. But I don't. It's okay. I'm just working on it. And thank you for all the gem you're putting through, all the social media. Like it keep motivating me. And yeah, one day I will like listen to my song to a TV movie or something like that. So I'm just working on a few strategies to just send my music to people. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, man, for
literally.
sure. My biggest suggestion, you produce, sing, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm producing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what I generally would say is like study like the music that's getting placed
Mm-hmm.
in like the shows that you really like. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that you really dig, like you would really want to have your music played there, or you feel like you have something that's similar to that, or you can make something similar to that. Like study that and then study like who the music supervisors are behind those projects and kind of like reverse engineer like how
Yeah,
you
sure.
reach out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's my biggest suggestion. Because as a producer, it's a super high ceiling, bro. Like it's a lot that you can do. It's just like you just got to keep shooting your shot. Just keep going
yeah,
for it.
for real. I spent hours and hours on IMDb and sending those emails to execs, sound operator, music supervisor. Yeah, I got a few contacts, so maybe it gonna work out one day, maybe.
Absolutely. Another person I would say to like look into. I'm not sure if you already have or haven't. Check out Clint Music because he speaks
Yeah,
directly to
yeah,
producers.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he has a wealth of knowledge, bro.
for sure, yeah, for
But
real.
yeah, man, appreciate you tapping in, man.
No problem. Merci. Bonne soirée. Ciao.
You said what?
I said have a good night in French. Bonne soirée.
Oh,
Ciao.
okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. You too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. There's a lot of love in here for Mata too, man. That's what's up. Cash only. I'm about to bring you up, homie. Hello, hello. What's good? What's good, homie? Yo, can you hear me? Hey, yo. All right, homie. I'm gonna have to bounce on that one. Yo, can you hear me? All right. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now, homie. Yeah, that wasn't working. But I appreciate y'all joining, man. I thought Hurricane was gonna come through and my homie his chief. I thought they was gonna come through and chop it up with me, man. They done disappeared on your boy, man. Corpiano was good. Jew, let me know, Jew. Let me know what's happening in Toronto, fam. Like you said, I named like the older artists. Who's new? What up? What up?
Man, it was good, bro. Man, I kept having to can you hear me?
Yep, you good?
Yeah, man, I kept having to leave out and try to request again. For some reason it wasn't letting me send the request. So I just had to leave out and come back in. But yeah,
Gotcha.
man, what's good with you, brother?
Oh
Said I was
man,
gonna tap in, so you already know what's up, man.
I appreciate it, man. You know, just in here trying to trying to give out a quick little lesson and everything, you know.
Yeah, man. As always, like I said, man, always solid piece of work. I wanted to kind of tap in on what somebody said. They asked a question about was it oversaturated as far as sync licensing?
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't believe so. I don't with things being filtered, because not everything is accepted. So, it can't be oversaturated when everything isn't accepted. Now, if everybody was allowed to be in that lane and every song was accepted for everything, then yeah, I mean, that would make a lot more sense.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna tell them like this though. I got a couple placements I'm gonna put up tonight that I just found out about. But like shows like Black Ink Crew, shows like
Yeah.
Love and Hip Hop, they use like 60 songs per episode.
Yep.
It ain't no oversaturation.
Every all those shows.
Yep.
And that's what people got to realize. Like, don't you got to still shoot your shot. Don't think just because you hear songs similar, like you said, you might hear songs similar to yours, but that's even more of a chance of you being picked because this is what they're looking for.
Yep.
But me and you always chop it up about all this stuff all the time, man. I just had to hop on here, I don't know what Hurricane was. I think he had the same issue I had because we was on here early, but for some reason it wasn't letting me like send a request. It was letting me send it, but it wasn't going through, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, man, he said I wasn't sending it. I kept sending it. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I ain't seen nothing.
That's why I'm like, this done tripping for real. But yeah, man, it's always a good thing, man. You definitely got to try to run this back next week or the next couple weeks or whatever, because like a lot of people are saying, man, they appreciate everything you're putting out there. But I done known you for a long time, man. We both been going through this, and it's been since we've been young, and it's crazy because we had a lot of similar experiences.
Yeah.
But we didn't even get to really truly work together until 10, 11 years later.
Right.
But it's dope how everything is coming together and connecting now, and it's just we really figuring out the whole business aspect of it. And I think a lot of artists need to really tap in on the business aspect of music. Like, just stop thinking solely in recording and dropping music. It's a lot more out there to it. Just like you was telling your homie about the merch and everything. Like, it's so much more out there that can be created, presented, and I mean, it's so many revenues. Like, don't stop at one. Don't stop at one.
That's the whole thing, man. That's how you live. It's like putting all these different pots together. You make a meal.
And don't get stuck at like you said. I mean, I know how people move. Everybody move differently, but I don't want to see these artists and the talent and skills getting stuck at these 9-to-5s. I'm not telling anybody to leave their job at all, but don't get stuck at these 9-to-5s, like you said, and only being able to hustle your music on the side. That should be your true job.
Facts.
If you got it in you, got it in you. Don't let nobody stop that.
Hey, man, y'all heard it from the homie. It's Chief, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow him too, man. He got a lot going on as well.
Yeah, man, we're going to keep showing love, man. We only going way up for here.
Way up, yeah.
All 22, man. I'm wishing everybody blessings, prosperity, wealth, health. You know how we do.
Yes, sir.
And, brother, I'm going to holler at you, man. I appreciate you, man.
All
always,
right,
man.
Talk to you later.
All right, yes, sir.
Yep. All right, let's see who else we got in here. Okay. I'm going to take a couple more, and then I'm going to sign out probably around 6:30.
Hey.
What's going on, homie?
What up, coach?
What's up? What's good with you?
Hell, I'm hella late, bro. I just popped in like what? Cause you saying that you about to go on live. I'm hella late.
It's all good. It's all good, man.
Well, man, you was dropping some games, huh?
Yeah, man. That's what I'm all about, man. Just trying to help people, figure the game out, man. It's tough. It took me a long time to learn. So now I'm trying to
Yeah.
help people get to it quicker than I did.
Get on that sync. I learned, man. First of all, I appreciate you for this. Man, when the first time when it was like $4.99 for the first volume 1, right? I'm like $4. I'm like, let me see what bro talking about, right? And I'm like, damn. I'm like, bruh, and I'm like, hold on, he got another one. I'm like, bro, let me go get the other one before he changed the price. And I don't know if you remember, right? I wrote you. I'm like, bro, I feel like I robbed you. I feel like I just, I feel like I robbed you. You was like, nah. And then when I heard the volume 2, and I'm like, oh, I know why his price is the way it is. It's on Fiverr, and because your manager, he said your price right, and then you change your price, and your sale became low. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this nigga's a genius.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I wanted to.
Yes.
It was the first one. You know what I'm saying? So it was really just testing the market out. But I appreciate it, bro. It look like you're breaking up a little bit though.
You got me or no? Still breaking up?
Yeah.
Well, shit. Like, look, let me just bounce out. Then I just pull up, man. To say thank you, man. I appreciate you. Feel me? And
Yeah, I
continue with this
appreciate you, man.
greatness. That's it. You feel me? That's all it is, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Who else we got in here? I don't know who this one.
You gotta.
Oh man. Yeah, man. It's cutting up, bro. Just hit that little X for me in the corner. It's cutting up bad. Yeah, man. Sorry, I had to go ahead and close you out, my boy. I don't know who this other person is. Oh snap, we got the homie in here. 3,000. What's good? G1 Flow, everybody that's joined. I appreciate y'all joining. Y'all missed out on an awesome discussion. I actually did a live reading of my book, The Pen Game Portfolio Volume 2, talking about collecting royalties on your copyrights and everything. I'm going to start doing these a little bit more often coming up in the future. Just giving out game, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about getting a dollar from y'all. You know what I mean? So it's really about educating artists, educating producers, songwriters, etc. If you look at my page, that's all I'm really about. So if you into the music side of things, tap in with me, man. And if you want to get the book for yourself, you can go to realjnolan.com. You know what I'm saying? What's good, everybody? What's good? Y'all caught me on the tail end. I just got done doing a live reading of one of the sections in my book, The Pen Game Portfolio Volume 2, talking about collecting your royalties and everything. Had a great session. So now I'm just kind of seeing if anybody want to tap in. Even though I'm in Toronto, I'm originally from Jamaica. I do dance hall music like Vibes, Cartel, Popcorn, and Movado. Hey, man, there's a lot of potential for that. Like, stick to that. You know what I mean? A lot of potential for that. Ain't nothing new under the sun, and we ain't done till we done. That is a fact. Just learning the business side, that's most Jamaican artists' downfall. Okay, I can see that. I mean, that's really most artists' downfall, period. You know what I mean? A lot of us don't catch on till a lot of times it's too late. We find ourselves in bad contracts. Then we got to hire lawyers to get us out. I had a terrible management contract just a couple years ago. I had to get a lawyer to get me about that thing, man, because homeboy was going crazy. He thought he was like Suge Knight or somebody. Not to me, though. I just started seeing how he was treating people around, and I had to get about that shit. But it took a lawyer. So that's what it came down to. Canada in 2014 at 18. That's a lyric from one of the songs we did together to a band. Oh my God, my boy said the Ben Styles record. Boy, you took it back to what? What was that? 09? We've been at it a long time. Flow. Really born and raised. Yeah, I know who this is. When you said that, I knew exactly who it is. Flow. Yes, sir. I'm really born and raised in Jamaica, so that's what's up, man. Dancehall is dope. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. It's a big market for that. International music is actually grossing more money than American music is right now. So go for it. Do your thing. Ben Styles, what up? Yeah, man. I ain't seen Ben in a while. We tap in every now and then, but it's been a minute since I've seen him. That's when all of us was at it, man. Y'all talk, man. Ben Styles. That's Apache, original Apache days. Love what you're doing here. Can't wait to catch the next one on time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to start doing this a little bit more often, man. Tapping in with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Giving out some game and also getting some in return. Let people come on and actually speak on the live with me. So it's not a one-way street. Giving people opportunity to say what they want, give some advice or ask questions or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I've been on here for about an hour and a half. I'm about to go eat. And I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening, man. And stay tuned. I got a lot more on the way. And I actually got a couple placements that I'm going to put up in this evening. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to let y'all know about that stuff too. So catch y'all in a minute, y'all. Peace.